Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Entering the world of Crisis on Infinite Films, brought to you by All2ReelToo podcast.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, it's clobbering time in Carta.
It sure is clobbering time. So I think that's the only way we're going to get anything done in this world is if we start clobbering things. Yes. Do you concur?
Yep.
I think I'm just going to start clobbering everything. It's the only way that solves every problem in the world.
Just punching holes through walls.
Yep.
Keying your own car, punching tree stump. I mean, that would probably break my life.
Yeah, it would, but it'll solve some problem of some sort. I'm resigned to this fact that it'll solve everything. Just clobber the whole Constitution and
all that nice jazz.
Yeah. All of that jazz. Anyway, so today on our wonderful podcast here, the podcast that'll save the world, we are talking about some heroes who saved, I guess, themselves and in the process destroyed a lot of blocks of New York City from time to time and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was less so much of being a superhero as opposed to cleaning up their own messes.
Yes. So kind of like how the world is working now, because basically governments create problems and then solve them and act like heroes. So it's like an arsonist who is also a firefighter, Yes.
That's actually, considering that one of the Fantastic Four is basically nothing but like a flamethrower now. So
here's the Human Torch. So basically it's like if the Human Torch set buildings on fire and then put them out. Yep. Good times. So yes, we are talking about Fantastic Four 2005, one of the earlier attempts of the film industry to bring Marvel's first family to the screen. There was an earlier attempt that never made it to the screen, really. just the VHSs. We did cover it once upon a time, but I lost the audio, so we never released it. So
1994, that's when that came out.
Yeah, the audio, I couldn't say, I can't say we lost the audio. It was corrupted somehow. Back then we were just recording on memory cards and we didn't have like a backup way of recording. And so that was all we had. And the memory card got corrupted. So this film, like I said, came out in 2005. It was rated PG-13. It was released by 20th Century Fox. So this is pre-MCU. But post Blade and Spider-Man and other movies, and X-Men and stuff like that. The Internet Movie Database short synopsis here is a group of astronauts gain superpowers after a cosmic radiation exposure and must use them to oppose the plans of their enemy, Dr. Victor Von Doom. The film was directed by Tim Story. Mr. Story has also directed one episode of Scorpion, which is a good show. that ended kind of on a cliffhanger and kind of pissed me off that they canceled it. But anyways, directed Ride Along 2, some episodes of CSI Miami. He directed this movie. Prior to this, he directed a bunch of, it looks like, music videos, like, NSYNC's, Thinking of You, I Drive Myself Crazy, Tyrese's Lately, Too Short, and Keith Murray's Independence Day. A couple other Tyrese ones, Ghetto Mafia's I Can't Feel It remix music video. So he was a music video director prior to this, really. This seems to be his full, prior to that, he also directed Barbershop. That was his first movie with Ice Cube, which is a good movie. And Taxi with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah, which is actually not a bad movie.
Despite, Jimmy Fallon, but it was a decent movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was before Jimmy Fallon became a network shill. Anyway, so
what does that mean? What does that mean? Network shill? Like, what?
Basically, he kind of just is this guy that hosts the show and laughs at everybody's jokes and basically does whatever the network tells him to do. Yeah,
much late night host. Yes, yeah.
Much like most late night hosts, with the exception of like John Oliver, who has a show once a week, and Seth Meyers to a point. I think kind of just doesn't really care about what other people think of him. So I think Seth, as far as network people go, Seth Meyers is the best. And then you've got like, Jon Stewart, who doesn't give a shit either, so, yeah.
Like, I always loved Jon Stewart. He was always one of my faves. My fave.
And I think, Conan never gave a shit. So,
Yep.
Conan is, in my opinion, the best late night host who ever existed, even better than Johnny Carson. So people will kill me for that. Anyways, the movie was written by Mark Frost, Michael France, based on characters created by Stan Lee. Mark Frost also wrote for Hill Street Blues, Twin Peaks. He also wrote the screenplay for Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, the sequel to this movie, among other things. Michael France wrote this. He also wrote GoldenEye, Cliffhanger.
Oh, okay.
The Punisher with Thomas Jane. Ang Lee's Hulk, which we covered previously. And that's about it.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So, this movie stars Ioan is how the first name of this dude is written. I'm going to say Ioan Gruffudd as Reed Richards, Michael Chiklis, otherwise known as the Commish, as Ben Grimm, Chris Evans, also known as Captain America, as Johnny Storm, Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, Julian McMahon, I just said Jillian, like he was a girl, Julian McMahon as Victor Von Doom, Hamish Linklater as Leonard, Kerry Washington as Alicia Masters, among other people. So, yeah. What are your initial reactions to this film here, Sesame?
I liked it a lot, actually. I don't think I saw it when it came out. I wasn't really watching a whole lot of superhero films at that time. My only problem with it is the same problem I had with the 2015 version, is that I just think the pacing's just not to my liking. I mean, that's subjective, I guess, but it just seems like Marvel, and not just like any action movie in general for the past 20 years, just seems like they cannot, I don't know what it is, if it's like the same people working on all the movies and they just can't do it right or what, but it's like there's so much buildup, which is fine, but then once you get to like the grand finale, it's like they just rush through it. Like, although I would say this version does a much better at that than the 2015 version, which was 20. Like, so I would say this is not anywhere near that level. What I did like about this, though, more than the 2015 version, aside from what I just said, is that all the characters seem like they're well into their adulthood. Whereas the 2015 version, it looked like they were all like 24 years old. Like, it was like,
with the exception of maybe Johnny Storm, they're all kind of like, established adults, like at least young adults, even him to a point. But he's still the kind of like, childish one. But yeah,
the literal hothead, get it? And, and so I like with this where they're, like like Reed, for example, his hair is graying a little bit because at one point Johnny's like, "Oh, I like the new Grant though." Like you gotta go, so I like that part too. Like especially like Victor, he's much more mature, I guess you could call it. Like he's still got the ambitions, but he's much more like I guess stable could be the correct word.
I think the characters are better developed here too. Like you can understand their characters more than you could in the other one, where it was just kind of like they're there for the sake of being there in a way. I mean, you kind of got a little bit with Reed Richards in that one, but it was not like to the point where you actually cared about him, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different movie all around. I liked it. I don't really understand why like it got so much hate. Like, because I always hear that's the worst movie all time, Moose. And I'm like, it's really that bad? I mean,
I think it's more of a retrospect hate. I think at the time it was actually well regarded. I mean, it made enough money to get a sequel, you know?
Yeah.
So that's so it's you know, that says something. I mean, but then again, a lot of movies make sequels that should never have had sequels, but still, yeah.
So I thought it was decent. I really did. It's like my only gripe again is either the length or not pacing correctly enough. Other than that, I don't really see much of a problem with it. I mean, we had good character development, especially with Ben, which I thought was interesting because Ben always seems like he's kind of like one of the lesser of the four, but they did a lot of emphasis on his. Oh yeah. So
and when you got Chiklis in a role, I mean, come on. You know, he brings gravitas to it, in my opinion, because like Michael Chiklis has always been a great actor, in my opinion. So, it was, and I was joking earlier when I called him the Commish, but I was a big fan of the Commish. And then, you know, he was on, what was that other show? He played a cop, The Shield. Yeah. You know,
he
was like, he was like kind of an asshole cop on that one. Went from being like, you know, funny Commish and everything. I mean, and, you know, Chiklis was even good in Wired, which was the John Belushi biopic, which everybody hates, and I do too, to a point. But it's like he played John Belushi in that, and that I blame more on the writing and other things. So, but his performance was good. Yeah. So, if you ever get a chance to check that movie out, it's worth watching. But it's so full of a lot of bullshit. So, and it's totally inaccurate. But
okay, they should make another book about Jim Belushi life. It's like the whole movie's about according to Jim. I know, so you get so much hatred, you know, Jim Belushi. It's like, but he's not the brother who got hooked on drugs and died from an overdose. John Belushi, he's so much better, man. Yeah, the brother who died 50 years ago.
It's like, oh god, like the you know, but it's kind of like the when they did all those behind the music about artists, and then they did one about Weird Al, who's never had any kind of controversy in his life, and they literally had to do this thing where like the music gets all low and everything. And he's like, and then my next album didn't go platinum.
Yes.
It's kind of like what a Jim Belushi thing would be like. Yeah. And then we decided to end according to Jim. You know,
it had 6 seasons. It was such a great show. Or like a cop though, he was in a movie. I'm pretty sure it was him with Tupac Shakur. Year he was killed, I think. Like,
yeah. Well, that was. Yeah. But yeah, so what goes down in this movie here?
Oh, so Reed Richards and Ben are trying to get funding for a new project idea, and because Reed's got like his own sort of science company or whatever, but not doing well financially, never really made any money at all, actually. So it's always in the red. And you know, they're trying to, you know, get Victor to, you know, put up some of the money for whatever, and he agrees to it, but there's like, you know, a catch. He wants like 75% of the profits and all of this jazz, and he's kind of playing it cool, like he's not really that interested in the tech, bro. He just wants the money, bro. But no, Victor's always got a plan. He's always got something, you know, his ears are always grinding. He wants it because he wants his own machine or whatever technology to kind of build his own little empire of tech. And what I like about
Or his Empire of Doom.
His Empire of Doom. Yeah. So what I like about his character in this is that he's much more, he's like really intimidating, but he's not like super scary at the same time.
Yeah.
Like this sort of like ominous, it's more of like what he doesn't do, what he doesn't say, and more scary than like the 2015 version, where in that version he just kind of like lost his mind because he had got stuck in like this sort of like nether realm or whatever.
Yeah.
In this version, nothing like that. There's like this between Sue Storm and Reed. If you know, like they kind of like a couple for a while, different versions of the story, and they broke up, I guess, at one point off screen. They don't really say what's going on. Then it's kind of like acts like his bodyguard, sort of. I don't really know if acts like that kind of like, I guess, role. I guess something like that. I'm not sure what his role is necessarily because he's not really the science guy. And so I'm not exactly sure what his like actual like job position.
I don't know either. I mean, it's hard to say what. I mean, I think he is kind of sciencey, but not really. Like it's kind of weird. Like he's kind of. I think he's just like best friends with Reed, sort of thing. Yeah.
He's cool with the mechanics, like. Maybe Reed's like everything's like abstract. He's like the physical one, maybe he actually does project. Type of thing.
Yeah, they go to Von Doom, and basically what they're trying to do is they want to the thing that they want to do is they want access to his space station.
Yeah, because that's right. He's got
a space station.
Yeah, man.
He's kind of like a I guess an Elon Musk sort of guy or something. He's
a parody. It's good.
What's that? Yeah.
I dare compare him to Elon. Actually pretty awesome. I mean, I know he's terrible, but like he has like his own fucking country that he rules. Like, well, I guess Elon does too, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And but
so Victor has a space station that they want to use, and they basically what they're trying to do is test the effects of the exposure of clouds of cosmic energy on biological samples. Yeah.
Okay. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
I don't know. That's what Wikipedia says.
Very sciencey talk. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
So I guess there's these like clouds, and they're built of cosmic energy. See what I'm saying here?
I guess. I don't know.
They want to test them on, biological, like living samples. I still don't know what I'm talking about, but I just thought I'd kind of.
Does he mean like regular clouds, like up in the sky? Does he mean like special clouds?
They're special clouds.
Special clouds. Okay.
Yes.
That's our scientific explanations. They're special clouds.
They're not normal clouds. They're special.
They're special. Sorry.
Yeah. Just like, my mom called me her special boy. No, I'm joking.
There you go. Oh my God.
So basically they end up recruiting, brother and sister Sue and, Johnny Storm. Sue, like we said, is, Reed's ex-girlfriend. And I guess she's a genetics researcher, according to this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So they're all going to go up into the clouds, the cosmic energy clouds.
Yeah. For biological manner testing or whatever the fuck he's supposed to be doing. It's still such a weird turn of phrase. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, nobody, it just sounds like someone threw that through Chat GPT before it even existed. And just like, edit it out like, oh yeah, it's, clouds with energy and biology and stuff. And, it's like, and we got this hot girl, Sue Storm, up there, and there's this other guy and stuff. And it's going to be really awesome, guys. Nothing bad's going to happen whatsoever. It's going to be a super successful mission. Nobody's going to get hurt in any way whatsoever. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's like, I'm wondering if that's like what Stan Lee had come up with, like when they first, came up with things like, yeah, it's like, if that's how they got their superpowers. Okay, here's what happened when so in the comic books, the Fantastic Four is formed after 4 civilian astronauts are exposed to cosmic rays during an unauthorized outer space test flight in an experimental rocket ship designed by Dr. Reed Richards. Pilot Ben Grimm. So he's a pilot. Maybe that's his deal. And crew members Susan Storm and her brother Johnny Storm survived an emergency crash landing in a field on Earth. Upon exiting the rocket, the four discover they have developed incredible superpowers. Yeah, so that's what happened in the original Marvel comic books. So yeah,
I like that version better when it was like an unauthorized. They just decided to do it. Civilian astronauts who don't have any experience whatsoever.
But this too, like, who knows if this was authorized by the government either? It was just, Victor Von Doom has his own space station, so like whatever.
Yeah, sure. Just do whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just so weird because I just cannot get over the cloud shit. It's gonna stick with me now. I just can't get over that description.
Well, I mean, later they're trying to recreate the cloud inside this little machine, and that's what ends up, creating Dr. Doom. So yeah, so
use that as my own the thing about the clouds, the biology and the
yeah. Well, I mean, doesn't everybody, from time to time, test the effects of the exposure of clouds of cosmic energy on biological samples? I mean, I do that like 3 times a week.
I mean, if you're not doing that, are you even living? I mean, that's the question. Like, what do you do with your life?
No, the meaning of life is, food, sex, water, and testing the effects of the exposure of cosmic energy on biological samples.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 And, so
I think that's in the Bible.
It is. It's in the Bible. It's a different translation.
Because I'm pretty sure Adam and Eve are hanging out in the Garden of Eden, and then one day Adam turns to Eve and says, "Hey, you know what? I got an idea. Why don't we test the effects of the exposure of clouds of cosmic energy on biological samples?" And Eve's like, "Sure. Just let me eat this apple first." Yeah.
So that's what got it kicked out of the Garden of Eden, was that they were trying to do the biology testing, and like God's like, "Nope, can't do that. It's against the rules. Now you got to go to wherever you're going now." It's like, damn it. And so they go up there, they do the stupid little test, right? And then Ben, there's like this huge energy wave coming towards Ben, and they're like, "Victor's such a dick. He like tries to close the doors on Ben, so he like has to die out there." And but he does it. He finds his way. He makes it in time, but then it's like this big whoosh of energy, kind of like just hits. Like at first, it seems like it's not nothing. It seems, but then all of a sudden, like a big thing of energy just like shoots at them, and then everything's like normal for a while. But then, like roughly around the same exact time, they all start developing their new powers. And was there a reason why each one got a different power, or was it just like randomized? Like I don't remember if there was like
I don't think they ever explained it. I think it was just randomized.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if for a while it seemed like Ben was running from like a big rock, so I didn't know if that was why he was like
that had something to do with it.
I don't know. Who knows? It could have just been completely random. And so there's like this cool little montage going on where each person, I mean, come on, you gotta be honest. Like Ben got the total short end of the stick here. I mean, you got Johnny, he could turn into fire. Sue has like this weird, like, I don't know, magnetic powers. I don't know exactly what
she turns invisible. Yeah.
She turned invisible, but she's got this like sort of like force field ish kind of. I'm not even sure what you would call. I see. I need to learn my science. If I did study more about testing the clouds, I would have known more about how to crazy.
According to our scientists on Wikipedia, Susan can become invisible and create force fields.
There it is, force fields. Okay, okay, I was correct.
It's funny, but the way they got this listed here. Reed is able to stretch like rubber. Susan can become invisible and create force fields. Johnny can engulf himself in fire. And Ben is transformed into a large rock-based creature with superhuman strength and durability. Yeah, even just reading that, I just like, man, Ben.
I mean, it's like not like the worst power. I mean, yeah, the super strength is cool, I guess, but like he's looking like that.
He's kind of like the Hulk, but he's like the Hulk all the time. Like it'd be like if, the Hulk couldn't turn into Banner, so. And
like, and just like little things that he can't do, like no pun intended, like, glasses, like cups aren't made enough, forks aren't made as big for him to eat. It's like all these little things can't do now because his hands are just too big to do it. And then it's so like, yeah, you got Johnny going off doing flame shit,
And
flying around.
I shouldn't think about this stuff, but like, so towards the end, we first off, we get this thing where he, his wife leaves him basically.
But piece of shit.
Kind of jumping ahead here, but we also have this part where Kerry Washington's character she's a blind woman, but she kind of falls for him, and the Alicia Masters or whatever her name is, but I shouldn't think of this stuff, but I'm just like, can they have sex?
I don't know. That probably not. Well, I mean, see, I was kind of confused about that, or I don't know if I liked that too much because it was like the fact that she's blind, it almost makes it seem like, oh, nobody would like you unless they're blind. They can't see you. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, well,
it just seems
she is a character in the comic books too, and she's blind.
I know, but like it just feels like, oh, don't worry, she can't see how hideous you look, so you're in the clear. Yeah. I mean, no, not in the clear as in Sue Storm being in the clear, but like you're in the clear, like but you're going to get. But
she does, explain, when she meets him that she understands, what it's like to be different. So yeah.
So that was kind of neat. So he got himself a new girl, and instead of his piece of shit wife, but which I hope she got into a car accident in the end of that scene off screen. We have no idea, but she got into like a fiery car accident and died.
Yes.
Nobody knows. They have no screen, so it's fine. But like it's like he got his shit going on. Johnny is giving him a hard time, so that's kind of fucking up their relationship a little bit because he's always making jokes at his expense. Ben, obviously doesn't like that.
When Ben first finds out what's up with him, though, he does run off like I don't know, like Harry from Harry and the Hendersons or something, but off into the woods and then into the town, and they create that there's this issue where he goes to the Brooklyn Bridge and accidentally causes a traffic pile up while stopping a man from committing suicide. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Like our boy like prevented like a suicide from happening, man.
Yeah.
Get any thanks for that? No, of course not.
Then we have like whole scene where they're basically introduced to the world as the Fantastic Four because that's what somebody in the media decided to name them. But yeah,
right. So now they're team. They're not even a team at this point, but the media just decided that they were like, no, you're a team now. Can't do anything about it. We decided, okay. And Johnny, of course, loves this. He loves being the center of attention, so he eats it right up. He's doing like fucking like. He went to like a freaking what was it, like a dirt bike race or something like that. Doing all these fancy tricks. I mean that's what he used to be like a racer. Was that like his profession? Was he like?
I guess so.
Okay. I'm thinking so because when he did this really cool move and the guy said, "That's old school, Johnny. We want something new." So, which is weird. I'm like, what? Okay, what satisfies you people? This guy literally was hanging off the handlebars, completely shot straight up like he was a gymnast, and then he lands perfectly. They're like, "That's old school. Give us something new." Okay, can you do that? Can you shoot? It's straight vertical line, holding the handlebars, facing your feet straight up as your bike is. You can do that. That's not entertaining enough for you. You need something new. Okay,
it's like the exact opposite of a rock band. Like a rock band goes out on stage and wants to play the new songs, and everybody's like, play us what you did in 1984.
It's the old shit, bro. Yeah, no, it's like no. Now I want. So he does like this cool fire trick, by accident, because he was gonna do like a really, really cool bike trick, but he couldn't do it, and so he made himself fly by crash into the ground, and so like fire, Johnny, Human Torch or whatever, I don't know what they call him, and so like he made a big, everyone's on the meet. That's the other thing too about this movie. Usually superheroes like try to keep like a low key. Like about who they are. Like these people just went right into it. Like within like a matter of days. They're like, yeah, we got powers now. Sorry. I'm not sure what to do about that. We're going to fix it though. You're going to fix having powers? What? Why? Why would you do that? Like, okay, that's like the dumbest thing in the world. I mean, I understand Ben. Okay, Ben doesn't want to be like a rock creature. Fine, whatever. But like, why is everyone else to lose their powers? That makes no sense whatsoever. Like, why should Johnny lose his fire powers, pursue with her invisible / force field powers, or Reed with the stretchy powers. Victor is fine because he's crazy, so yeah, you should take away his powers. But
Yeah.
he's got, so like it's really the Fantastic Five if you think about it, because he's got his own shit going on, separate from them. He's turning into metal essentially is what he's doing. His body.
I want to point out too that during that dirt bike thing or whatever it was, there was like all of these ads for like Pepsi products and then Burger King.
Yes. I saw that.
Like it overwhelmed me. And so the way my mind works, though, I just want to, let you listeners venture into the mind of Michael E. Cullen II here for a moment. I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, but Burger King serves Coke products and they have since 1990. So that was just kind of weird.
Well, maybe they're sponsored by both Pepsi and Burger King.
Yeah.
So that's extra money for them right
it's
now.
It's kind of weird.
It's just so random. I know. Probably just took anything they could get. Like Sue and Reed had this sort of like emotional moment where she's like, you can't see me, and then she literally becomes invisible or something like that. And then he's like, I can't see you. He's like, I know, that's what I've been saying all these years. He's like, no, I literally see you. Like, and then she's like, freaks, like, what the fuck? And like at this time, he's experiencing his shit. Ben, he's starting to freak because so at first Ben is trying like the matchmake. He's like a matchmaker. He's trying to get Reed and Sue back together because like they're like a power couple, I guess, or whatever.
Well. Literally, they both have powers.
Well, yeah, they're literally a power couple. And then he's like, oh, his stomach is grumble, like he's got like an upset stomach, and so he's like, oh, I must have ate bad shrimp. You're hearing Victor's like, man, she got bad. Like, no, he's got the finest shit, that's possible. And so he goes off to bed to take a nap, to feel better. And then he starts feeling shit like, oh God, no, and
yeah, this was all before the Brooklyn Bridge incident. So yeah.
This was like early, like the start of it. And then Victor, he's got like a little scar from the accident, but he doesn't realize that it's actually turning into metal. Like it's literally his whole body is turning into metal. And he's got like these grand plans, basically he wants to be like a conqueror or whatever, and he wants all the power to himself. And so he's been working on his own machine that he needs to create a wedge between the teams so he can like divide and conquer basically. So
like you
he
do.
realizes what's like you do. So he realizes Ben's like the only person who really hates his power for obvious reasons. So he's like, okay, I'll pick him off first, and then I'll divide the team further. So he's like, I'm going to take away Reed's bodyguard, refers to Bill. So he offers to pay for Ben to eat a disgustingly amount of pancakes at a diner for some reason. I'm not sure why that was a thing. Okay. And I get it. You're like a big rock creature now. Does that mean you have to eat like 18 times more? How are you eating?
Andre the Giant had to eat a lot of food, so it makes sense. I mean, because he's big, because like Andre the Giant used to eat like tons of food at every meal, and he would literally drink like a 6-pack of beer would do nothing to him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he would
literally drink like 20 some beers at a meal. So yeah, or more.
I heard he was kind of too. I heard that he used to take shits in bathtubs in hotel rooms so that you'd force the maids to clean it up. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's something I've heard. So,
I don't know. I mean, I had heard a lot of things that he was a really nice guy, but he was an alcoholic. So who knows? He probably did do it. I don't know if he was doing it to be an ass or maybe on purpose. or maybe his ass couldn't fit on the toilet. Who knows? I don't know.
It's not even on intentional. He's like, oh no. And so like, we got these side plots going on. Doom, he wants the one ring to rule them all type shit going on. And so he tricks Ben into going into his own machine so that he doesn't have his powers anymore. But he only does that so that he can knocks Ben out, kill him, which is weird. I always love these movies where it's like clearly he has the power to do someone, but he doesn't. How that foils his plans later on. I'm like, you could have just killed Ben. Like, you literally had no power to do anything about it. They're like, no, we need plot armor. Literally. And so I'm just going to knock him out. And then I'm going to go on a fucking killing rampage and kill his boss. Because that was the other thing, too. So, like, Victor got kicked out of, like, his own company, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, the board kicked him out, I guess, because he was, like, just basically not running the company right. You know,
that can happen. You're, like, in such a huge corporation. You could literally get kicked out of your own company.
Pay attention, Tesla. Pay attention, Tesla.
Exactly. Pay attention. You can do that. It's legal. Them out. If they're too erratic, it doesn't matter if you formed a company. Can you imagine that? That can happen anywhere else. It's not like if you own like an individual Burger King. Speaking of which, franchise, they can't just be like, no, you don't own a restaurant anymore. They just kick you. They can't do that.
Well,
like
Burger King could.
Well, Burger King could,
but Jerry, who runs the fryer, can't do it. You know,
he's not like a board of directors inside the actual like the guy who makes the fries. He's like our comptroller.
Yeah,
of like, but
you're the guy who puts the toy in the Happy Meal. I mean, the kids' meal. You know, he's the one that can. Yeah.
So I'm kind of blanking because like really a whole lot does not actually happen in this movie. A lot of
basically, I mean, it doesn't. There isn't a lot of stuff happening. So basically, so Reed had been, had this plans to have this machine to reverse conditions, like recreate the storm, pun intended. But so they drive this wedge between Ben and Reed and everything. And then, so they take, Ben's powers away, Doom does. And, then he ends up torturing Reed using a super cooling unit because he's basically trying to, mitigate his powers and stuff. So then he ends up, he fires a heat-seeking missile at the Baxter building where they live to try to kill Johnny. Johnny flies through the city to evade it. Basically at one point they think Johnny's dead. Sue rushes and she ends up freeing Reed using her invisible powers. Then they all get together, they battle Doom. They have a whole situation where they end up making him the metal really hot using, the supernova power that Johnny has. And then they cool it down really fast, which then basically when you cool something really hot down so fast, it does this thermal shock thing, which freezes him into place. And so they win. Yay.
It was such an anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was. And then we have like a little epilogue after that where Ben tells Reed to, forget about his experiment and that he's basically accepted who he is because of his relationship with Alicia Masters, the blind artist. And so they decide to like embrace their roles as superheroes. And Reed Richards proposes to Sue Storm. She says yes. And then we cut to a scene where the frozen Doom is being transported in like a I don't know what do you call it, like a shipping container sort of thing, back to his homeland of Latveria.
Right. And so for those who don't know,
that's a fictional country.
It's a fictional country. It's probably based off Latvia, which is a real country.
Yeah.
Just it's probably a stand-in for like maybe Slovenia or like somewhere like in Eastern Europe.
Supposedly, according to Wikipedia, Marvel Comics location, it's located right near Hungary, Romania, Serbia, and Croatia. It's like kind of right in that area.
So it's like pretty much close to where like Latvia is, right? Or
I think so. I don't know where Latvia actually is, but.
So for those who don't know, if they haven't like read the comics or even just read I read the comic books, I just read articles about comic books. I don't actually read them. I know about this shit because I read about it, not actually what's going on. But so for those who don't know, Dr. Doom ends up like just ruling over the country of Latveria, like as like a dictator. It's the country essentially. And he actually at one point becomes like a sort of like benevolent dictator type of figure. Where like it's actually at one point it becomes a very prominent country, doesn't it? Very super successful under his forced leadership.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's interesting too because we're gonna see Robert Downey Jr. playing this Dr. Doom, which I have to make out the whole.
I have no idea how that's going to happen.
No, I'm kind of done with the MCU. To be honest, I'm like going back to like watching the old Marvel movies because
I'm optimistic about Fantastic Four First Steps. It looks good, and I mean, then again, I have a man crush on Pedro Pascal, so I will watch it. So, Yeah. I'll watch anything with him in it.
The Thrones, you could watch him. He's not in a whole lot, but he's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I still need to get into Game of Thrones though. But I mean, it looks like it can be good. And I've watched, as of this recording, there's been 3 episodes of Ironheart, and I've watched them. And despite what other people are saying, I enjoyed them. People are pissed off because in these episodes, she's committing crimes. And they're like, oh, a real hero wouldn't commit crimes. And it's like, what about Ant-Man? He's a fucking... The only reason that they even get you is because she's a black woman.
That's the other thing, too. But these, I guarantee you 110%. These, now I'm quoting like from fucking Bedazzled here. 110%, you just got to give it. There's no IET. And, that's a whole other movie we watched. But like 100% chance that these are the same people who like praise like the Empire and Star Wars. Like Darth Vader was actually the good. And, he's such a bad. Dark City, it's awesome. Like, okay, so those are the villains in the story, but you're like, yeah, but they're awesome. But this girl's committing like petty crimes, and so she's bad. They're
not necessarily petty crimes in this, from what I've seen. I don't know if you've watched any of the episodes yet, but
it's just so stupid.
Like, if you actually watch the things, the group of people that she's working with are stealing from billionaires.
Well, that's why they hate her then, because that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at too, and it's like. They're fine with Ant-Man committing crimes, but because, Paul Rudd is white and she is black, that's basically it. I mean, there's other and they're like, oh, she doesn't have any superpowers. She just has a suit. So did Tony.
Yeah, so was Tony. Not every superhero. That's the other thing that pisses me off about. I can't wait till Spider-Man Part 4 comes out, where we're gonna finally back to Earth a little bit, because I think MCU, overextended itself a little bit by going like too big, where we got like literally gods going on in space, and kind of forgot the fact that like shit actually happens here on Earth too. Like,
and that's what I kind of like about the shows, in the way that they'll be down to earth. Like, I mean, I really love the Miss Marvel. That's my favorite. I know a lot of people are like, oh, why? Really? I mean, I like Loki a lot too, but I really like Miss Marvel. I just like how it's down to earth, and it's looking at different, cultures and stuff. And that's what I like about this too. It's like, it takes place in Chicago. It's not like in New York or LA, like the other ones and stuff. And it's like, Ironheart, it's good. I mean, I didn't really necessarily connect to the character in Wakanda Forever, but, that's because that movie was very flawed in my opinion. Which it was going to be regardless because of Chadwick Boseman's death. I mean, there was nothing you could really do with the Black Panther series to make it hold up. But, it's just, but I think this, if they play things right, this could be good. And I mean, the problem that people are having, they've seen 3 episodes and they're basing her character like, so she's committing crimes, so she's bad. And it's like, there's these things called character development that happen, and they don't realize that the whole first act of the first first Ant-Man, it was like, he was a bad guy too. It's just like, oh.
So does it take place with Wakanda Forever or after Wakanda Forever?
It's after.
After, okay.
Yeah. So and it's really cool, and I think I like it. I mean, it's obviously not one of the better shows, but it's worth watching. But of course, there is that whole superhero fatigue and the MCU fatigue, and then which I have it too. I have it too, to a point. I almost wasn't going to watch this, but I just watched all 3 episodes one night just on a whim. Started watching it, and I was like, I'll give it a chance, and if I don't like it after the first episode, I'll stop. But I actually enjoyed it. But I can see why some people didn't like it, but a lot of it I think it just boils down to sexism and racism. So I'll be called woke for saying so. Yeah.
But you're not allowed to be. You're not allowed to say anything that's anti-woke or whatever. What got from me, I think, was it was after Spider-Man: No Way Home, and I think that was like it for me. Where I was like, that was what I was waiting for, and then I needed that break, and then Doctor Strange 2 came out, and it was just like piece of shit, and I was like, okay. Now we're doing quantity over quality stuff now. I'm not into that.
Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was horrible too. It was like rushed. They were rushing things. That's the problem. They need to take more time in between movies and TV shows. And honestly, they are doing that. They're cutting back on the number of TV shows, especially because I think that was diluting the product to a point. I mean, it's like there were good elements to a lot of these shows, but some of them just like, I don't know, like that one with Samuel L. Jackson, what was it, Secret Invasion or whatever, that was horrible. And then,
the first couple episodes were good. And then it sucked afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why like the whole thing.
Really, right. But then they won me back with Agatha all along. So
that's good because that was different though. That was a different take. It was same old shit. Like with like Secret Wars or what is not Secret Wars? What was it called?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. But really, it kind of then went back into the flaw of like having everything like super again because it was like, oh, imagine this character, but she has everyone's superpower. I'm like, so that's not. It's like okay, but like there's not. There's no stake then. Like if your character can't die or nothing, it's like what is like the whole point of like having a story is that there's like tension. There's you know what I mean. Like there's something that can actually happen. If you have a character who literally has every single person's superpower,
it's like why it's so hard. I mean, even though there have been good Superman movies, but it's so hard to make a good Superman movie because without you've got to humanize him, and that's what makes him good. I mean, a good story character. It's like there's problems, and it's like you can't just make it a good guy beat up a bunch of bad guys. Yay, yeah. There's got to be some kind of stakes to because conflict is what tells stories. But anyways, we'll get into that later. So hopefully in the future, maybe we will cover the next Fantastic Four, reboot here and, maybe Superman as well. Anything else to say about this before we wrap things up here?
No, not really.
Me either. So yeah, folks, I'm just going to state it. Me either. So folks, if you do us a favor, go to all2reeltoo.com. Check out all of our, links on there to our social media, our TeePublic. That's a good way to get some merchandise, and support the show. Another good way to support the show is to check out our Patreon. We got a link there as well. Check out some of the, charities that we have listed in the show notes. Good way to help, humanity, this thing, if you have, if you have this like, this rare superpower that a lot of people don't have called empathy. Yeah.
Yep.
And, just, remember that trans lives are human lives. Free Palestine. Death to the IDF. No one is illegal. No human is illegal. No human is illegal. I'm going to repeat that. No human is illegal.
Woke.
Yeah, I know I'm being woke. I'd rather be woke than dead. Or asleep. Or hateful. Or lack empathy. Fuck the patriarchy, fuck the Christofascism that's coming in this world and destroying us all. Fuck kings. Be good to each other. Be different. Be yourself. Remember that I love you. It's still clobbering time. It's the best way to solve all problems. Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.